The next domain is cognitive ergonomics. Cognitive ergonomics is concerned with mental processes, not physical. Mental processes such as perception, memory, reasoning, motor responses, as they affect interaction among humans and other elements of the system. The relevant topics included the mental workload, how people make decisions, like decision making, skilled performance, human-computer interaction, human reliability, work stress, and training. I would like to use human-computer interaction as one example. Human-computer interaction, or just HCI, involves the design, implementation, and evaluation of interactive systems in the context of users' task and work. Human in human-computer interaction refers to individual user, a group of users, or users in an organization. Computer does not really mean personal computer. Computer means any technology like personal computers, your mobile phone, or any other kind of devices with chipsets with computing capability. Nowadays, people do not interact with their computers only. We interact with smartphones, smart devices a lot, and also wearable devices like glasses, like smartwatches, or some other smart devices are all considered as computer here in HCI. Interaction means any communication between the user and the computer and the technology, directly or indirectly. Interaction includes input and output. Like we type, we use keyboard to input into computer, and the computer shows the result on display as output for users. And the user perceives the information on the display and input more information through typing, using mouse, or other ways to the computer. This is the interaction framework. A very classical and a very wide used user interface is graphical user interface, or GUI. GUI totally changed the way we interact with technology and computers. There are four important components of GUI. First one, a window. Second, an icon, a picture, an icon. The third is menu. And the fourth is pointing device, like the mouse you're using. By using the four components, we interact with computers in a very convenient way. My professor told me long time ago, when they had to interact with computers, they had to find a deck of cards and punch some holes on the cards, and then give the deck of cards to some machine to read, and wait for hours or even days or even weeks for the results, because the old computer did not interact with people in a very easy way, in a natural way, and the old computer was very slow. But GUI changed everything. With GUI, we don't have to memorize those commands. Even when I learn computer, I have to learn to memorize commands of operating systems like DOS. But with GUI, things have been changed. But how did everything start? Let me show you the very old computer model developed by Xerox PARC. And in the figure, you could see the very old model of the display, just like a letter or A4 size paper. Keyboard is quite similar to today's keyboard, but if you see the little pointing device on the right button, that was the very old model of mouse. So this old model has the four components. In the display, you can see windows. With pointing device like mouse, users can recognize commands without memorizing all the commands. With keyboard, people can input information to computers. And on the display, there are also pictures like icons for people to select, to choose. Nowadays, GUI still very useful, still very popular. But smart technologies have changed how people interact with computers. Right now, we can talk, we can say what we want to do, and our smartphones can understand some of our commands verbally. And smart technologies do not limit to smartphones. Graphical user interface is very popular. There are other paradigms of interaction. For example, cars. When we drive, we see wheel, we can press pedal, and we see meter. And this is a different paradigm of interaction. But smart devices, smart technologies may change the way we interact with cars in the future. And there are other paradigms of interacting with machines, like automatic teller machine. We have to insert a card and type keyboards. Some ATMs have touch screen. We can input on the screen. And some ATMs have audio output to remind users of what they do. Cars, automatic teller machines, and computers or smartphones relatively are not very complicated. In a control room of a factory, in a control room of a nuclear power plant, the interaction between people and the system can be very complicated. And there can be more than one person sitting in the control room to interact with the system. And they have to work and communicate with each other as well. And the interaction paradigm can be very complicated. And the mental processes, the relevant topics of cognitive ergonomics, like perception, like memory, like decision making, like situation awareness, like human reliability, will become very important.